How many times have you had the phrase, find your passion, follow your passion? Do what you love and you will never have to work a day in your life. How many times have you heard that? I've had that so many times. And I think I've followed that kind of idea in my life once or twice or thrice. But is it really the best advice to be able to grow as a person in your career and in your work life? Apparently it's not. Apparently it's the worst advice ever to humankind. And this is why. So what encompasses work that you love? Do you get to the work that you love because you followed your passion or because you're good at something? People often assume that when you follow your passion, you'll be automatically good at something. And I feel like I've also done that in my life. Like I've followed something I was intensely passionate about. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being passionate, but the days that it does not necessarily bring about that level of coveted success that everybody admires. And what changed my mind about follow your passion being bad advice to career growth and excellence and greatness is this book called So Good They Can't Ignore You by Carl Newport. So that really rewired my brain somehow and actually affirmed me, made me understand the relationship between work and passion a little bit more. So when you tell somebody to follow their passion, that means they're following their personal interest, their burning desire, which is a good thing. But then again, it may not necessarily offer you the success you want, the greatness level. Let's say, for example, Kobe Bryant was passionate about basketball. But is it really passion that got him there, or is just dedication to craftsmanship? The argument in Carl Newport's book is that when you follow your passion, you're often in that mindset where you're like, what does the world have to offer me in my passionate pursuits? You understand? And you know very well in this world, it doesn't work like that. Nobody owes you anything. So you walk around in the world, let's say you're passionate about tap dancing. So you're like, I'm really passionate because maybe you saw your mother do it or whatever. Then you go into the world in the mindset that what does the world have to offer me to fulfill my passion? So Carl Newport argues that instead of following your passion, follow skill, follow developing rare and valuable skill in the mindset where you approach things in the mindset, what do I have to offer the world? How can I offer the world the best level of skill, the best level of craftsmanship? And you conquer through such kind of a mindset, vis-a-vis, I'm passionate about this. Me, what can I get out of this? It's my passion, I deserve. Yet, you have not really put in the work, the hours, you have not really put in the skill, the alchemy and the levels that it requires you to get from one level to another in like a very skillful and valuable way. So that really, at first I was also very irked about the idea of why is this guy saying that passion is shit due to lack of a better language, why saying passion is bad. But I got to understand, it's more about craftsmanship. Even when you, let's say let's go back to the example I was talking about, Kobe. Kobe was passionate about basketball, but you've got to admit sometimes when you're pursuing your passion, it stops being fun. And that is a reality we all have to face. It stops being fun at some time. Because let's say you want to play basketball, you just play, you're hooping, you're having fun with your friends, maybe a little bit of just an edge over here and over there. But when you go pro, it's serious. You've got to take care of your dribbling, both hands, passing, dunking, points, all that stuff. So at some point it's literally work, it's skill, you have to stretch yourself beyond what you may perceive as normal or comfort zone for you to be able to be the best. And once you're the best, That's when now you get to the levels of career that everybody admires. So what are the three components of career that everybody admires? The career, the dream life, that everybody wants. It's when what you do for money. You have autonomy, of course, you can control your time, you're a master, and you have the right network. So when you have these three things, that allows you to control your time. You can work anytime you want, you quote the kind of prices that you want, whatever price you want, at least whatever, you can get paid more than the next guy if you want, and you have the right network to leverage and take your skill and ideas wherever you want. But you've got to admit, you can never really access these levels of reality when it comes to work and money if you don't practice having rare and valuable skills in something. So this really opened my eyes. And then another thing about telling people to follow their passion, not everybody, not everybody is predisposed to a passion. People spend lifetimes and they never really found what they love. So telling people to pick something and be really good and offer the rare and valuable skills, make sure you're rare and valuable, is more efficient and more successful than telling somebody, follow your passion. Yeah. So another thing that the book really mentioned that ticked me is the idea that when you're pursuing your passion, like when you say you're passionate about something, you get into this mission mindset. So let's say, for example, he gives an example of a lady actually, who was tired of her job as a marketing executive, and she was like, I don't want to do 9 to 5 anymore. I can't do something for myself. And she stayed maybe a few years, I suppose, in the executive marketing spot. So she decided, since I know yoga is my passion. I'm certified, just certificate level, and I do yoga for my health. Let me branch into a yoga business. But in this yoga business, it was something brand new. She doesn't have a network. She's not a master. She's probably beginner, intermediary at best, and she's not she's not really worked so hard, or she's not like leveraged the time frame that it requires for you to master a skill to be able to access the kind of autonomy you may have in an industry. She didn't have that, so she branches to a yoga business and she takes out a loan. Of course, you have to get a place, do the registration, brand the business. 6 months to a year later, she was on food stamps. She didn't have money to pay even her own rent. And she had to fall back. And of course, that's a very depressing situation. I relate to that because for me, my story, I started off in the arts, making films. I went to film school, and that was my passion, filmmaking, script writing. I could produce films on I would say, amateur level. It was fun. It was my passion. But I really understand, when I read the book, I understood I was also in that level of duress when it comes to passion, because I always looked out for what does the world have to offer me. So I look at my scripts or the stories I want to tell. I look at my environment and I realize my environment is not really giving me the capacity that I need to produce my stories. I felt like my environment was not good enough, the people are not good enough, the industry around me is not good enough to make my ideas come to life. And that really made me, not want to share my skill as much, to serve as much, because I was in the mindset, what does the world have to offer me? And the world around me is not offering me what I need, so my morale was really down. I was not really performing. So, but then again, if I was just in the mindset, I just want to be a good, maybe script writer and producer, and just stuck to that, and I was in the mindset of what can I offer the world, I would have found a better and easier time doing what I pursued at the moment. I would have had an easier time to pay my bills and being open-minded and open-hearted to serve and get paid and grow in that kind of manner. So I've been caught up. I've been caught up, and I admit, But these days I'm a bit better. I understand the value of craftsmanship vis-a-vis, passion. So another story the book gives, or another example, is of this lady called Lulu, a software engineer. Started off in the mathematics degree, or is it PhD, and then she got employed for a few years at a software company. She worked herself up to a rank where she was working 80 hours a week, just a basic everyday desk level employee. And then at some point, she found an idea to innovate a system for the company. So after writing the software, she pitched the idea to her superiors. They liked the idea. They bought the software, they implemented in the company. And due to that level of value addition that she did to the company, she was able to now negotiate her hours. She was able to negotiate her hours that she was working, her salary, her position. She was now a hotcake. She will say, I'm not coming to work and I'm coming on Tuesday. This is the kind of money I need. And they will do it because she had earned it, just step-by-step levels of growth, and she had earned it. And then later she dropped, she resigned from the work she was doing. And at this point, even after she resigned, she got an offer to work at a startup company, another startup software company, and on her terms. She was able to talk about the hours she wanted, where she wanted to stay, and all that kind of stuff. But then again, I think the problem is that we tend to want to switch to that kind of life, but you've not really earned the level of foundation, the level of the autonomy, the mastery, the network. You haven't. I swear you'll fall down. I've been there. I fell down. You will. You're definitely going to fall. You are. Because these things at the end of the day, they need you to have deeper roots. And if you don't have them, you're going to be chewed and spit out. And that's just the reality. It's the harsh reality. So this Lulu lady, when she dropped out, she was able to find her lifestyle, because she was a master. She's known as a master. She's made the right network. So it was easy for her. Now she's able to take her money, take her skill, and use it however she sees fit. She can have the 4-hour work week, no longer 80-hour work week. So that was very insightful. That was very, 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 very insightful, especially right now when everybody is running into, I gotta make passive income, and they want to quickly replace the 9 to 5, yet you haven't really become a master in something you chose. You're just always in the mindset, what does the world have to offer me? So you should get this book, you should read it, chop it up. Also on the concept of deliberate practice, that's another way that's another thing you need to identify and apply in your process so that you're growing in something. So deliberate practice is the act of putting yourself in a new environment to learn something, and you put systems where you're getting direct feedback and direct analysis, and you keep repeatedly taking action based on the analysis and the feedback that you're getting. So that allows you to stretch yourself, push yourself. Like, let's say you want to be able to read and process complex information in a very short time. So you put like a deliberate practice, put the time, you put systems that give you feedback, the way you're analyzing your performance, and the way you adjust as you go, the best way to take action. So to recap, rule number 1, don't follow your passion, follow skill, follow craftsmanship, follow having rare and valuable skills. Aim to be able to offer rare and valuable skills that give you edge and allow you to leverage and allow you to have control. And as you focus on skill, develop passion as you focus on skill development. That's when you develop passion. Don't start with passion, start with the skill. Always be in the mindset, what can I offer the world? Vis-a-vis, what does the world have to offer me? Start with, what can I offer the world? Put in the work. Somewhere, somehow in there, you will find the passion. You'll find a way to love what you do. Okay, so start backward. Do the work, find a way to love what you do. The second thing to note as we recap is that you need to learn to be so good that you cannot be ignored. Your skills need to be top notch here so that you're able to leverage the level of skills you offer so that you can be able to have control over your work. Like we discussed earlier, everybody wants this work life where you have control over your time, you're a master at what you do, and you have that level of network or connection with people. But that will never happen if you don't put in work when it comes to your skill and your craft. When you're able to offer this leverage skill where no one else can offer, or you're able to come up with a level of service and skills that are very rare and valuable, you're able to dictate your time, you're able to dictate the amount of money you make. So being at those levels is what Carl Newport identifies, It's what you need to focus on vis-a-vis passion. When you're on your passion mindset, you're always like, hyper focused on the things you don't like or the things you like, like for me, I gave an example when I was pursuing filmmaking. When I was in my passion mindset, I was very hyper focused on the things that are not working for me in the environment where I'm at. I will write a script, let's say, and then I will be like, this script is too complex, this is the story I want to tell, but the people around me are not equipped to express it. It was stressful. I was a stressful person, if I could think about it. So, and I can see that I was in my passion mindset, But if I was in more of a craftsman, skill level mindset, I would not have let these, lagging thoughts pull me back or make me feel stuck or, not help me progress. So be so good that you cannot be ignored. You have to practice, you have to stretch beyond your comfort zone in a skill that you've chosen or in your line of work for you to be able to achieve that level of career capital that you can use and leverage to have control. Which brings us to our third nugget that you need to take from this video, is that avoid control traps. Like I've given an example of a lady who left a stable job to start a yoga studio because she was tired of a 9 to 5. The business, of course, failed. She ended up not even being able to pay for her own, meals and whatever. That happens when you're following a mission and you've not really gained any career capital. You're not a master at the things at that thing. You're not. You do not have the level of relatedness that is network. You do not have the level of autonomy or even the funds to be able to do what you need to do. So building in a way that you have a career capital will enable you to avoid control traps. When you're peeling off from something to gain control, yet you have not earned the foundation of career capital. And the last one you need to understand is you need to have a mission-based mindset. The work that you do, you need to figure out a way to have a mission, because you can also really focus on the skill. You have the career capital, but you have no mission to expand the career capital that you've created. Career capital, mission, that's where the magic is. So the mission needs to be at the core of the things you do. Although you realize maybe if you have a desk job where you're an administrator, how the hell are you going to have mission? That's something I wondered in the book, but it's something maybe when you read the book you're going to realize. Maybe the level, some jobs, you can't really have a mission really because it's just a job maybe, but I feel like whatever it is that you're doing, that you've chosen as a skill, you need to have a mission behind it, so that as you grow career capital, you're able to join it with the mission that you have in mind, and then that allows you now to leverage. You're able to now create in such a way that's impactful, and then you take that and you leverage. For example, the story I told about Lisa, the software engineer. I think that is the best way to build work that you love. Get in, build the skill, figure out a way to leverage the career capital you have. Now use that to be able to now fund a freedom kind of life, where you dictate your time, you're able to get the money that you actually feel like you deserve. So it's a very great way, especially if you're a wealth builder, and you have this mindset to have like a good career that also brings in joy, and you want to achieve this thing where do something that you love and you'll never work a day in your life. So the first thing is to first work. Yeah, you have to work backwards. You cannot just say I'm going to follow my passion and do what I love without necessarily thinking of it as a skill and building the career capital so that you can leverage that and create work that you love. Because at the end of the day, nobody owes you a great career. Seriously, nobody. You need to create it. Nobody will give it to you. Nobody owes it to you. And when you're in your passion mindset, you always it's like you want to find a job that fits. It sounds like you will find it. So that can actually lead you to have this career hopping lifestyle. Because you're really trying to find something that clicks. But at the end of the day, Carl highlights that working right is better than finding the right work. Focus on working right vis-a-vis finding the right work. So when you do that, you're gonna find your passion in there when you work right. Don't be so focused on finding the right work. So this book is so amazing. You can get it on Amazon. I don't even have a link or anything. It's just something that I read and I really liked it, and I thought I would share to you wealth builders, because this channel is for investors and people who build wealth. So I thought I would share so that self-improvement is part of being rich, or part of building wealth, or being a wealthy person. So this is what I had for today. Until the next time I post a video, stay tuned. Subscribe, help me build this channel, of course, like everybody, if you find value. And also share if you know someone who may need this information. It'd be great if you share. So see you in the next one.